الحمد لله.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am joined with the amazing Rebecca. I'm so excited to have her.
Assalamu alaikum.
She's so great. Her YouTubes are really inspiring and very informative as well. Check out her channel. I'll link it. Check out her Instagram as well. And I'm excited to hear about her revert story. I don't know your revert story yet, Rebecca, so
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear it. So the first thing I want to know is, did you believe in God? Did you have a religion before you became Muslim?
No, I had no religion at all. My parents didn't bring us up any religion. My mum was raised, when she was younger, she was Catholic, and my dad was Church of England. But we never spoke about God in the house. Other than RE at school, that's all I really heard about God. So it was God. I knew that there was something that was called God, but I never actually thought that it was real. I just thought it was like fantasy, and that was in movies, and spoke about in that kind of way.
That's interesting. I think I had a very similar upbringing to you, actually. So your parents didn't believe, you didn't really believe in a God. Did you ever find yourself talking to God when you were a child?
Yeah, I did actually. That's really funny you touched upon that, because I'd never thought about that before. But you saying that, I did. At times of like stress, I did used to say, "Oh, please God," but I didn't know who I was talking to. I just said it. Yeah, so that's really interesting actually that you brought that up and made me think of that.
Definitely. Actually, I had the exact same thing. I never realized that until someone asked me that question. And I had the same response as you. I was like, oh, my family are atheists. I've never really, RE at school was the only time I heard of God. But someone's asked me that, and I thought, yeah, I remember being a kid and sort of laying in bed and being like, making sort of like asking God for things like this, even though I had no belief. And I think everyone has that sort of, if they realize it or not.
Yeah, just that innate inclination inside of us. We know like Allah is there.
Yeah, definitely. And I think all kids, sort of whether secretly or non-secretly, do talk to God. And I think it's interesting.
Yeah, that really is. That
Yeah.
really is.
Okay, so how did you go from someone who's non-religious to a Muslim? What's your revert story?
So it all happened when I left school when I was 16. I grew up in a very, not a very multicultural, multi-faith area. So then when I left school, I went to college and I started work, and then I started meeting people from all different backgrounds, faith, cultures, and I just become inquisitive. My first experience with Islam wasn't the best, and I didn't feel like it was right for me. So I really pulled away from Islam, and then I started exploring, looking at Christianity, Judaism, all different ones. And I'm also looked into Buddhism, and I am a yoga teacher, and now I teach mindful movement. I take all the religious content out of it and teach mindfulness. So that's how I got into that. So yeah, it was that initial thing of just searching, and I hit a low point in my life where, we all have it at some point where we hit that low point and we're like, where do I go now? What do I do? And I was actually seeing a kinesiologist, a kinesiologist, should I say. She does muscle testing, and she finds out what your body needs and gives you the supplements. It's really amazing. And she's Muslim. And then when you go there, you sort of talk to her about things. And I told her I was searching, and she asked me if I wanted to attend a gathering with a sheikh. And I was like, I'd love to. So that's what I did. And when I went to meet this sheikh, it just changed my perception of Islam completely. He spoke about all the love in Islam, the togetherness, the light. And it was just, I just felt a massive opening. And that's when things started just to fall in place. Prior to that, I did miss quite a big thing, actually. Just before that, I had a moment where, before I went to go and see the kinesiologist, where I just wanted to pray. I felt the need to pray, and I'd done it, and I just cried and cried, and I kept crying. I just felt this massive weight get lifted off my shoulders, and I knew something was there. It was just, it was an incredible experience. So yeah, after meeting this sheikh, I started to learn more. it all feels a little bit everywhere. Sorry, I keep going back and forward. But there was a time where I went to Turkey, where you are now, actually. But I was in Bodrum, and they play the azan out. And I was with two of my friends, and we was walking along in Bodrum, where there's a dock, and there's a mosque right at the end. And the azan started playing, and all of a sudden it made me stop in my tracks. And I heard it playing. I just went, like, a feeling of just whoosh went over me. I got tingles all over my body. I felt tears coming to my eyes. I was like, what is this doing to me? Like, this is just insane. Like, subhanallah, like, I couldn't believe that some sound could make you feel so, like, full inside. So that was another opening where I thought, there is something with Islam that I need to know. I need this. Like, there's something amazing about it. So then, yeah, it was just from meeting that sheikh, I just kept learning. I wanted to learn more. I kept reading different books from different scholars, like people like Numan Ali Khan, Yasmin, Hamza, Yusuf, yeah, lots of different perspectives. And then more and more the puzzle pieces fell into place. And then it just got to the point where I couldn't contain it anymore, because I was hiding it from everyone. And it took me quite a long time, because I was 16 when I first started looking into Islam. And then it wasn't until I was about, I think, 25 that I decided that, you know, this is something that I definitely want to start pursuing. And it wasn't until actually last year, it's only been like 7 months that I've actually been wearing hijab. So it's been a long process of me, like, having to adjust and be confident enough to be open about being Muslim and expressing that to my family and friends around me. And there's still times now, like the other day I went to go and see my nan and granddad. They haven't seen me with a hijab yet. It was my granddad's birthday, so we stood outside, obviously because of COVID. And then even now, that first initial feeling of, oh, they haven't seen me without hijab, my heart's beating. But then once I do it, it's like, what am I worried about? It's, you know, it's me. And they was completely fine with it. My nan actually said it looks lovely. But there's them little milestones that, yeah, it just took time for me to really sort of sink in.
Yeah. So how did your parents react when you became Muslim?
So I think they knew it was coming, because over the years they've known that I've been researching into different things and I was more drawn to Islam, and I think they noticed that. So eventually when I told my dad, he was like, you're a grown woman now, and you're mature, you've made good decisions in life, so whatever, I'll support you in whatever you want to do, if that's your choice. And he just said to me, obviously I have different beliefs, and I'm not going to understand your beliefs, but we'll respect each other, which I thought was lovely. With my mum, it took her a little bit more time, because obviously I have my only daughter, and it was just, first of all, it was the shock. It was like, am I going to lose my daughter? Is this going to happen? Is that going to happen? And when I sat down and explained, you know, I've been Muslim actually for all these years, but it's just took me this long to have the confidence to tell you. And I haven't changed. Well, I have changed, but I've changed for the better. And I think after time, when my mum realised, oh, she's just the same Rebecca, she's just like, you know, Muslim now, she wears a headscarf. If anything, I've grown as a person, and now she's all on board, and so it's really nice, alhamdulillah.
Oh, mashallah, that's really good. I think it's interesting because I think your story is very similar to mine, but it did happen over a longer time, which is good because it gave you more time to like really study and make sure it was right. And yeah, it's a really, really sweet story. I love the fact that you cried when you first prayed. I think I might have done too. I can't remember, but I remember having this kind of like very emotional feeling, and I think I might have done the same, like cried when I first prayed for the first time.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's a really beautiful story, mashallah.
alhamdulillah.
Anyway, Rebecca,
Yeah,
thank you so much for coming on. Make sure you follow her, make sure you check out her YouTube, Instagram, everything. And yeah, thank you for coming. Assalamu alaikum.
wa alaikum salam.
Bye, everyone.